In my book, I argue that actually we as Americans, we eat out more frequently than anybody else on earth. Not only do we eat out more frequently, we tend to celebrate more amazing life moments. Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings. I was proposed to in a restaurant. I'm sure many of you were. You know, all of us can remember these amazing, intimate, special moments in restaurants, and yet very, very few of us can remember the person who served our food or cooked it or touched it. And I would argue that that is very, very purposeful. This workforce is almost entirely invisible to most of us. Together we started a little organization called ROC, the Restaurant Opportunity Center. And 12 years later, we've grown into a national restaurant workers organization. We now have 10,000 restaurant worker members in 32 cities across the country. There are over 10 million restaurant workers in America. It is actually the second largest private sector employer in the United States, right after retail. It is the absolute fastest growing employer in the US. In fact, 1 in 12 Americans right now works in the restaurant industry. It's one of the only industries to grow over the last couple of years of economic crisis rather than decline. But it also holds the accolade of being the absolute lowest paying employer in the United States. So 7 of the 11 lowest paying jobs in America, and the 2 absolute lowest paying jobs, lower than farm worker positions, lower than every other job you may think of as a low paying job. The 2 absolute lowest paying jobs in America are, guess what? The people who touch our food. And a terrible irony, the people who put food on our tables cannot afford to eat themselves, cannot afford to put food on their own families' tables. I bet you every person in this room probably eats out. I bet you every person in this room probably does not eat at a union restaurant every time they eat out, because less than 0.001% of restaurant workers in America are unionized. So you eat out already. You go already to these non-union places, which is most of our industry. You have tremendous power as consumers. Just as consumers made the change to locally sourced potatoes and organic strawberries, we have some power every time we eat out. So we're asking people at the end of your meal to go up to the manager, not your server, not the bartender, but the manager or the owner, and say, I love the food, I love the service, I wanted to let you know as a paying customer my values are that I want you to follow what's in this guide. You can show them your smartphone app. I want to see that you provide livable wages and paid sick days and promote people of color and women to livable wage positions. That's important to me as a paying customer. We have to care. We have to care because these are the jobs that are out there, because these are the jobs that touch our health and our food. It has to be about every one of us, workers, employers, and every single one of us who eats out. We need this change now. Thank you.